the She Loves to Plan podcast, the podcast for the time-poor entrepreneur, the business owner spinning too many plates, and the business mum who wants to feel more successful, more accomplished, and more organised, all whilst building a profitable business. I'm Monique Svensson, founder of Perfect Planner Company and planning enthusiast, and I'm going to be sharing with you my planning hacks, goal-setting strategies, time management tips and tricks, and secrets to success. Every goal needs a plan, and I'm here to help you. Time is the most precious thing we have, and I'm going to show you how to get more of it in your busy life. No more winging it, no more feeling unaccomplished. Let's get planning, let's smash our goals, and let's build the business of our dreams, because she loves to plan. Hello and welcome to the She Loves to Plan podcast. Today we are talking all things summer holidays, working the business around the summer holidays and somehow getting through without tearing our hair out, because it can be a challenge. I find it a challenge. I'm going to be completely honest with you. It's difficult. It is really, really difficult. I've got two young kids. I've got a 5-year-old and I've got a 9-year-old. And, you know, they're not at that stage where they spend all their time in their bedroom on their computers. They do want to be entertained. And do you know what? I actually do want to entertain them. I do want to spend time with them. I want to take them places. This year's a bit unusual. It's been a bit of an odd one, hasn't it? We can't go away. We can't plan the lovely summer holidays. Well, I guess we can, but I don't personally want to get stuck somewhere not being able to come home. So we've made that personal decision this year not to go away on holiday. I know some of you might be doing that, but it is a difficult time. You know, we have got a lot to juggle. And if you're a business mum, it does get tricky. So I'm going to tell you some of the things that I do around the summer holidays, some of the things that I do so that I don't completely lose my mind. I don't lose my rag at my kids and we don't end up arguing, because I used to kind of be that mum that I think I would probably get to September and I'd probably have one foot on my kid's back at the school gates and I'd be like, come on kids, in you go, and then sort of do a little happy dance as they were in. And I felt a bit bad for doing it, but I'm sure many a parent can relate to that, because it is how we feel sometimes. But let's try and get through the summer holidays of this year without stress, without fuss, and make sure that we actually come away and say, do you know what? I had a really, really good time. So within the Perfect Planner Company store, because I had this issue many years ago where I was like, oh, crikey, the summer holidays are a pain in the bum, I created a product called the Summer Adventure Wall Planner. And it's really cheery, it's really bright, it's really yellow. And it makes me think of all things summer. And I did it to kind of create this bit of an exercise that I did with the kids. And we planned out the summer holidays together. And I talked to them about what it is that I do, even from a really, really young age. I used to say, you know what, kids, mummy has got to work from home sometimes. And I can't spend all of the 6 weeks with you. I can't spend every minute with you because I have got to work. And I explain exactly why I have to work. You know, they do understand about paying bills and the fact that the money that we earn pays the mortgage, and it pays for our food, and it pays for the entertainment and the things that we're going to be doing over the summer holidays. And I think that's really important when we do, you know, to have that kind of relationship with our kids where we explain to them, you know, what it's all about, so they do get an understanding. So we've always had that kind of open conversation. So I created this wall chart and said, right, kids, you're going to be my guinea pigs for this. Let's see if we can actually make this into a product and make it into something that works. And it really does work. And people really do love this wall planner. And they love it because it is something that they can get their kids involved with. So this wall planner is something that goes up on your wall. It's undated. So if your kids, it's got 8 weeks on it. So if your kids are in private school, you've got that sort of slightly longer summer holidays. My kids are in state school. And so we just have a 6-week summer holidays, and I write all the dates in. And then on one side, we've got the activities that we wish to do. And this doesn't have to be paid activities. This doesn't have to be things that are going to cost you a fortune, because 6 weeks, again, is a really, really long time. And we don't necessarily want to go out there and spend hundreds of pounds on every single activity that we want to do. We might want to rein it in a little bit while still making it fun. So I kind of get them to pick their activities. So we get a big Sharpie and I get the kids round the table and they shout out all the things that they want to do over the summer holidays. And we start with some of the free things. So they might shout out they want to go to the splash park, which is local to us, or they might want to do, because my kids are young, they still get excited by these kind of things. They might want to go and do chalk painting out the front of the house, or they might want to go on a bike ride. You get the gist. There are things that we can do that doesn't cost a lot of money. And within that, I allow them as well then to pick 2 or 3 kind of adventures, what I call it. So they might be, the museums or the theme parks or the zoo, those kind of things that are the real big days out. And I get them to call them out and we write them down together, and we write it all out on this wall chart. And then we have a look at what they want to do. It's all there. It's all listed out. And once we've done that, this is their activities then. They've chosen to do it. It's not dictated by me. So it becomes a bit of a fun game, and it gives them something to look forward to, so that they don't always have to be going, Mummy, 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 when are we going to be doing this? When are we going to be doing that? Because they can see it. It's all listed out. And then bit by bit by bit, we'll say, okay, this is a day that Mummy's going to work. Or this is a day that Mummy might work in the afternoon. You kids are going to have to do colouring in, or you're going to have to play in the garden, or whatever it might be. And they can pick some of the activities that they've chosen that maybe they can do by themselves. And we make an agreement and we say, do you know what? Summer holidays are hard. I have to take some sacrifices in my business because I made that choice to be that mum that works from home. I chose to be an entrepreneur so that I could spend time with my kids. I chose to do this. So I get them to understand that, but with that comes a little bit of negotiation and a little bit of sacrifice really on my part. So on the days that maybe we have got a full day of activities planned out, that might mean that maybe I need to get up a little bit earlier or go to bed a little bit later on those days. But also then the kids understand, okay, it's fine. Mummy's going to work till 9 o'clock in the morning. She got up early, but that means that I'm going to leave her alone till then because we are going to the zoo that day. And isn't that flipping amazing? We're going to get to go to the zoo, or we're going to get to go to a theme park, or whatever it might be. So it becomes, a bit of a joint venture together. And I think when planning the summer holidays, it is a really long time. And I think it needs to be a team effort, because the more that you get the family involved in what it is that you're doing and within their activities as well, the better understanding that everybody has then of the boundaries further down the line. And it was an experiment. So when we created this wall chart, it was an experiment, and it really, really worked. We got through a summer holidays without everybody wanting to kill each other, without me shoving them through the gates, kicking and screaming in September, going, hurrah, I have my freedom back. I was actually like, oh, we've had a really nice time because we had balance. Now, I'm not going to be completely unrealistic here. There were moments, of course, where my 2 kids fought like cat and dog. There were moments where I probably did drink more wine than was probably acceptable on a given night. But, this is the summer holidays and us parents have got to do what us parents have got to do. We've got to do whatever gets us through. So we do, of course, we do have moments. It isn't a bed of roses all the time. But having a plan, having a structure, knowing what they're going to do on these days gives them something to look forward to, and it helps them respect the boundaries. It helps them come to terms with the fact that I am working. And, my kids, I don't know if they're different to anybody else's, but especially my youngest, she sees me working from home. And quite often it's like, oh, have you got to work again? Because when you do work in an office job and you leave the house every day, they don't see what you do. So when you work from home, it is in their faces a little bit, and they think that's all you do. Certainly my daughters are, mummy's working again. The truth of the matter is, I'm not just working again. I'm just working normally within the set hours that I've allocated for myself. But it's what they see and what their perception of it is. So striking that balance is really, really difficult, but it's really worth it if you can do it over the summer holidays, because I think that's the thing that as parents we probably dread the most. It's the arguments, the fights, the what are we going to do today? How am I going to get all this done? How am I going to achieve my goals? How am I going to work on my business if I've got to keep the kids entertained? And actually it shouldn't be like that. We need to find that balance. We need to plan things in. So I urge you to sit down and, work this out with your kids. The summer holidays is just beginning. And I promise you can get through it in a really sort of stress-free, calm way, without all the aggravation, without the fights, without the squabbles, without you sort of shutting a door and necking a bottle of wine because that's the only way that you're going to get through it. You can actually do it with a bit of peace and harmony. So go out there, grab a big card or a piece of paper or whatever it might be. Block out those 6 weeks. Obviously, if you fancy it, go ahead and get one of our wall planners because they are really colourful and very beautiful. But if not, just write it out on a piece of paper and ask the kids what they want to do. Block it in, block your work times in, and have that chat about boundaries and say, I'm going to have to do this here, but we are going to be doing this here and doing it all together. And I promise you, and this is a promise that I make to my kids as well, when I'm with you on these activities, I'm putting my phone down, I'm putting the distractions down, I put the out of office on the email. Kids, you've got me. That's the commitment that I make to them in those times in the summer holiday that we're doing things together. I promise you, kids, you've got me, you've got my commitment. But when it's work time, you've got to respect my boundaries in return. And I know they're only young, and you might say, hang on a minute, how can we do that? Because, my kids are 5 years old. But I promise you, if you talk to them about this, like they're grown-ups really early on, they really will get it over time, because that's what they'll see and that's what they'll know. So I wish you every success over the summer holidays. I wish you a really happy summer holidays, because enjoy it for what it is. It should be fun. It should be exciting. And you should be able to enjoy your time with your kids and still work that business and still achieve those goals and be ticking things off your to-do list every day that is moving you closer towards that big goal. Thank you very much for listening. This is the She Loves to Plan podcast. If you enjoyed this podcast today, why not hit subscribe? Also, we do give away a product each and every single Monday. All you need to do is take a screenshot of either you watching this or listening to this podcast and share it to Instagram stories. Tag us at perfectplanner.company.
Everybody that enters each and every single week will get put into a draw, and on Monday we will announce a winner and you can win a product of your choice from our Perfect Planner Company store. Also, if you love Facebook and you want to get even more value from me, do please come and join us in the She Loves to Plan Business Lounge, and you'll find us hanging out over there. Don't forget to hit subscribe and tell all your friends about the She Loves to Plan podcast. You can find us on all of the podcast platforms. Thanks for listening.